This is the news in 19 September 2025 about the U.S. culture. The F.C.C. threatened to punish Kimmel the hard way. ABC made it easy. On a podcast Wednesday, Brendan Carroll, the chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, complained about remarks that Jimmy Kimmel had made about Tyler Robinson, the man accused of shooting the right-wing activists Charlie Kirk, and about President Trump's MAGA political movement. Mr. Carr described a couple of paths towards the consequence he wanted to see happen. We can do this the easy way, he said, or the hard way. Later that day, ABC did it for him the easy way. ABC did not explain its decision to pull Mr. Kimmel late night show indefinitely, but the sequence of events was easy to follow, and the dynamics are chilling familiar. Mr. Carr, who holds power over local stations' broadcast license, called on ABC affiliates to push back quickly. An owner of affiliates group, which is planning an acquisition deal that will be scrutinized by the F.C.C., did just that, announcing that it would preempt Mr. Kimmel's show. By Wednesday night, Mr. Kimmel was on hiatus. What did Mr. Kimmel say to end his show, at least for now, in his Monday night monologue? He said, "We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gun desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it." You could call Mr. Kimmel's framing tendencies uncharitable, unfair, slanted, off base. Prosecutors said Mr. Robinson had written in private messages about Mr. Kirk's hatred without specifying what he found hateful. His mother told prosecutors that her son had become more pro-gay and trans-rights oriented. But if you hold commit to a standard of even-handed poverty, the biggest show in late night would be a test pattern. As for his statement about scoring political points, since Mr. Kirk's shooting, President Trump and his officials have sought to go after liberal groups and tie them to political violence. After Mr. Kirk's death, Mr. Kimmel also posted on social media, instead of the angry finger pointing, "Can we just for one day agree that it is horrible and monstrous to shoot another human? But one does not have defense or even like Mr. Kimmel's convince to see pattern. Mr. Trump and his administration have been yakking an array of labels to bring news and entertainment outlets to heel. They have brought lawsuits, dangles, investigations, and threatened financial interests. Mr. Trump recently used the New York for coverage that questions his level of business success. And it has often worked. ABC settled a suit brought by the Trump administration over new coverage, and then Paramount settled one over 60 Minutes, even as it showed approval a multi-billion-dollar meal. Paramount and CBS said that the cancellation of Stephen Colbert's last night show was purely for business reasons, but Mr. Trump celebrated the sliding of his frequent critic anyway, as he did with Mr. Kimmel, and he encouraged NBC to visit the same upon Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers. All the time, the demands for the apology, payments, removals, and concessions have continued and escalated. The message has been sent that getting on the bad side of President and his allies can cost dearly. And apparently, fear in the media and Hollywood wants to foot that bill, so many others are paying tribute and giving in. Why should you stick your neck out? Maybe it's just better to be cautious. Maybe don't say anything that gives your haters an opening. Maybe don't say anything rash. Maybe don't say anything. South Park nailed this dynamic in its season premieres, in which the Trump administration's pressures even reach Jesus Christ, who won't usually want to end up like Colbert Returns or its second episode, which made fun of Mr. Kick's politics weeks before his healing, were pulled from Comedy Central after the assassination. Though they remained on Paramount and streaming platform, Mr. Kick incidentally called the spoof kind of funny before his death. Maybe what Mr. Trump and his allies are doing is not precisely what bitters often did to control media in Hungary, on Vladimir Putin in Russia, oligarch type Erdogan in Turkey. Some governments do it the hard way, some do it the easy way. Every phrase on public discourse produces its own unique snowflake. You can feel it. You can feel the cheer accepting an Emmy on Sunday night for the HBO show last week tonight with John Oliver, the writer Daniel Breeden said, "We are honored to share it with all writers of late-night political comedy. While that's still a type of show that's allowed to exist after Mr. Kimmel's suspension, Senator Craig Murphy of Connecticut called it part of the systematic destruction of free speech." It might seem melodramatic to create censorship over late-night shows, which are ultimately not new institutions, but entertainment production that exists to make money. And yes, comedy is different from the news. A lot of people, why don't pay attention to the news? Pay attention to a comedy. Leaders certainly do. The satirical puppet show Cookie disappeared from Russia TV under pressure from Mr. Putin's government, and China's censure banned online members likening President Xi Jinping to Winnie the Pooh. Mr. Trump's social media feeds over his political career has read like the satirists and would first running commentary against his satirizers. One way you can measure a democracy's health is by people's freedom to mock their leaders, not just Policy 101 letter of the law freedom, but financial and cultural and logistical freedom. And practically speaking, free speech will only thrive on TV to the extent that companies are willing to locate their guards and stand up to political and financial pressures. Sure, nobody is showing Mr. Kimmel in a gulag. He, like Stephen Colbert, will likely personally be fine, but a media system in which comedians are forbidden from mocking the president's fashion by corporate fire is not functionally fair than one in which they are forbidden by law. One does not need to tear up the First Amendment if enough people who own inner microphones can be induced to behave as if you have. America may not be an actual autocracy, but it increasingly seems to be playing one on TV. Thanks for your listening. Enjoy your life.